Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Swills here, and today is the first installment of a brand new series I'm bringing to this channel. You can see the logo here. You can see the logo there. You can see the logo there. You can see the logo here. Wolves match day reviews. Wolves match day reviews. I'm going to be reviewing each match they play that I can see throughout the season, give my thoughts on how things are going, how players played, how the coach managed, everything. We're going to be talking about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, who's Wolves? What's Wolves? For my subscribers out there, they're playing the English Premier League. They're a soccer team. Football for the real fans. And the season just started today. I'm excited to get into it. It's something I always love talking about, love thinking about, is Wolves. They're my team. I support them through and through thick and thin. And without further ado, let's talk about this first match of the season, away to Leicester City. Now, Leicester was always going to be a tough opponent. They are a borderline top 4 team. They've got great talent, although they were missing some players today. I mean, out of the gates, what did I expect? I expected a 0-0 or a 1-0 or a 1-1. I knew it was going to be low scoring. Wolves are not a very big team to score or concede a lot of goals, so I thought it was just going to be like a warm-up, a feel-in game for Bruno Lage, our new head coach, our new manager. So I think 1-1 would have been a good score, or 0-0. I think a draw. I was expecting a draw. I was hoping for a win, but I was expecting a draw. I could see a loss too. And the starting lineup surprised me a little bit. I was surprised. I don't know if I'm not quite up to date if Semedo was hurt or not, but Nelson Semedo wasn't playing. I was a bit shocked by that. Hoover did play pretty well in the preseason, but the first half was awful. It was exactly like how we played under Nuno last season. Super negative, super defensive, passing the ball back constantly, under immense pressure from Leicester. We just boot the ball up the field, and we can't win possession like that, and we didn't. And we defended all right for the first, half an hour or so. We had some spotty issues. Connor Cody, time and time again throughout the match, would get himself into trouble, and then he would make a fantastic tackle to get himself out of it. But we just sat back, did a lot of defending, didn't look well coordinated. Traore was playing well, but other than that, we really weren't up for it. And then Vardy scored in the 41st minute off a nice cross from Ricardo Pereira. And I mean, Marçal, I don't remember who was defending alongside Marçal, but Marçal just let him go. It was a 2-on-1 defensive situation on the right side of the field, and Ricardo Pereira just waltzed past both of them, put a nice ball in the box, and Vardy beat Cody to it. And Cody, that's inexcusable as well from Connor Cody. So I think that was an awful goal to concede, but we move on. Halftime it was 1-0. There were a lot of problems with the way we looked. It looked exactly like how we've played under Nuno. And then the second half came around, and we looked the better team. We looked like we could have won the game on multiple occasions. Not only in the first half did Adama Traore miss an absolute sitter, which is embarrassing, but it's not unlike Adama Traore. That's literally, he can't shoot for his life. His decision-making is some of the worst I've ever seen. But the second half, we were much better. Trincao got much more involved into the game. He played well. A lot of people I've seen on Twitter have ripped into Kijana Hoover quite a bit. I thought he was all right. He had flashes, great flashes. He was really bad at some points, giving away possession, making needless tackles. But then there were times where he did really well getting up the field. He's an attacking wingback, and you could even say he might be more of a wide midfielder. I thought he played pretty well at times, and he did a good job spreading the pitch and spreading Leicester out and moving the ball around. I thought he did pretty well at times. The right side was pretty effective. Traore was great on the left-hand side. He's one of the best dribblers in the world, in my opinion, just simply because of his sheer size and speed. He can get past anyone he wants. Jimenez was a bit of a non-factor, I have to say, although I'll cut him some slack. It's his first game in almost a year, so. Our midfield was poor. Neves was better in the second half. But everybody hypes Ruben Neves up that are Wolves fans. Everybody hypes him up to be this world-class level player that makes a difference in games, and he's not. He's just a a decent midfielder. He's the best midfielder we have, and that doesn't say much because he still wouldn't walk into any top 4 side. He probably wouldn't walk into Leicester or any of those teams. He'd be a bench player. I just don't think he's amazing. He'd be better on a better team, or maybe if once the system changes, he'll become better. But he's not at that point right now where he can be considered that guy. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. But I mean, we had many chances. Traore had another chance later on in the game. We should have equalized. You know, you could have said this could have been a 1-1 game, a 1-1 game when you look at the statistics and how we played the second half. We showed good potential in the second half, much better in the second half, and I think it's something to build upon. You know, my player of the match would probably be Adama Traore. I just think just because he was on the ball so much and made a lot of difference going forward. I think he had like 10 dribbles completed. Nobody's like him. Nobody's like him. I thought Max Kilman had good spells. I think in the first half he was really bad. Second half he was a little bit better. I actually really enjoyed watching him go forward towards the end of the match and have 2 really good chances back to back. That you know, the problem with this squad is that all of our center backs would be better as defensive midfielders, as anchormen. Cody is naturally a midfielder. Romain Saiz is naturally a midfielder, and Max Kilman, he's a futsal player. He's a good dribbler. He could totally be a CDM for our team. We don't have any real center backs except Willy Bolly and Yerson Mosquera, who are both hurt, and neither of which I would really trust to, you know, start for a team that has Champions League or even Europa League ambitions. So my player of the match is Adama Traore. I don't think anybody played particularly poor. I wouldn't say anybody was awful screaming it to get off. Maybe João Moutinho, you know, he's lost his legs. He shouldn't be starting anymore. Bruno Lage, I can understand why it's going to be difficult. You're taking the most negative manager ever, Nuno Espirito Santo, in his play and trying to convert it into the most positive play ever, pressing high, holding possession. It's never going to be a quick thing, especially against a team like Leicester, but I was disappointed in his lack of early substitutions. He waited until the 66th minute for his first substitution, and it was a negative substitution with Den Donker. And I'm not a fan of Den Donker at all. I don't think he's a good player. But, you know, those are my thoughts. It's clear that we need to address these issues in the transfer market. It's clear that it's not just, we don't just need depth, we need some starters. We need a new midfielder that will allow Neves to get more forward or push him further back. You have to make that decision if you're Bruno Lage. Either get an attacking midfielder or get a defensive midfielder to free up Ruben Neves. We need a backup striker for Jimenez. We desperately need a center back. We desperately need a starting caliber center back, a big signing center back, a borderline record signing type of center back. And there's a million names out there that you can go after. And I'm sure, I hope Wolves invest, because these owners seemed clear from the beginning they wanted to invest. And I know we're under some issues with financial fair play, but unless they really think they're going to get into Europa League if they make a big signing, I don't think that's something we should really be super concerned about. We need to avoid relegation. That's the most important thing. I wouldn't say we're out of it yet in terms of avoiding relegation. You know, this team is not fantastic. And yeah, that's really that. That's really all I have to say. Let me know, Wolves fans, if you're watching this, let me know what you thought about the match in the comment section down below. Because I love to talk to some of you guys as well and get your feedback. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.